Everybody. I'm Jim Colby. As you know, I'm the Chief Excitement Officer of the Georges County Economic Development Corporation, and I'm up here at our innovation station. We're starting new businesses. We're bringing more employees and employers here to the county. The county's median household income is at an all-time high, but a lot of that is driven by some hot companies that are going on here that we want to make sure that you're aware of. And we're going to be talking today to Mr. Mark Walcott, and he is the President, CEO, and founder of TransGlobal Business Systems.
Hi, Jim.
Mark, welcome to Innovation Station.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Mark's company is one of the fastest growing companies here in Prince George's County. I just told him, I said, he's the future Bill Gates of Prince George's County.
I like that.
And we're here to help you to rapidly grow. And I want to make sure that our viewers today and potential investors, potential employees are listening in on this exciting interview that we're going to have with you.
Fantastic. I look forward to the opportunity.
Well, Mark, tell us about TransGlobal Business Systems, your company.
TransGlobal Business Systems. So we're primarily in the public safety space. We're located in Prince George's County and developed a very special technology that we call Starlight. It's actually a second generation technology related to situational awareness. Simply put, situational awareness is a decision-making capability that allows first responders to rapidly make decisions and facilitate a rapid response. We achieve that by capturing a variety of different data sets and assembling that data sets in the form of intelligence through a single window. Mm-hmm. So we tap into disparate databases, and then we allow the end user, the first responder in this case, to visualize that information and then actualize a response.
Now you can see Mark's pretty intelligent, so I'm going to kind of take it down a little bit. I need for us to kind of talk at maybe the 9th grade level so I can keep up. Sure. What is all that you've just said? What does that mean?
Simply
and
put,
who are you providing this technology to, and what does it do?
Sure. Simply put, if you're ever in a situation where you need help, mm-hmm. the average person would dial 911, mm-hmm. and you would need a police or fire to respond to that. Mm-hmm. We facilitate that response by dispatching an officer.
So you all currently have a big contract with Prince George's County.
Yes.
Well, number one, I'm happy about that.
Thank
you
you very much.
You can't beat having a Prince George's County-based company that's winning a contract with the county, so it really is true that you can win. Is that so?
Absolutely. You can absolutely win. I mean, it's winning a contract is essentially meeting the needs of the customer. In this case, Prince George's County Police Department. Yeah. We've been with the police department for a while. Our technology is widely used across the agency, but we have several other major agencies in the National Capital Region that utilize our technology as well.
How has Starlight helped our police department here in Prince George's County? Our chief really is out there. He's touting. He's saying, look, in Prince George's County, we don't investigate crime. We prevent crime. What does that mean? And how does your technology help the chief and his officers to prevent crime?
So the way we support the police department in their protecting and serving is that our solution allows the chief of police to make great decisions in terms of how his officers deploys officers
based on these hot spots.
Exactly. So we capture, like I initially described, we do a lot of the data aggregation. We capture a lot of the data, and then we allow the system to process that data and provide what they call intelligence.
Yeah.
So the way the Prince George's County Police Department operates, they operate by the concept of intelligence-led policing.
And what are the forms of information that goes into this information? What are they tracking that gives you the, I guess on a big screen at the police station as well as in the officers' cars, they're going to see hot spots.
Absolutely.
That are going on. And what's feeding that hot spot?
So,
what information?
So there are categories of information that we would interface with. And typically, the broad categories would be information related to persons of interest, organizations of interest, points of interest, and some other ancillary data types. But that pretty much forms what they call the crime triangle. And if you can map to all three of those data types, you've got a pretty good sense as to how to approach or respond to an incident or a crime.
So for instance, if one of, let's say 4 or 5 of our residents right now started calling the police station, the dispatcher received, let's say 8 to 10 phone calls from a given area
Yes.
on a block here in Prince George's County, what happens and what is your information share with the police department to allow them to respond faster than they would without your technology?
Right, so typically what they will, in real time, and real time or near to real time would be in a matter of seconds, what they will see or on a map, in this case, you can actually see the map there, they will see a high density of incidents popping up. They'll be able to relate each incident with a precursor incident. In other words, they'll be able to see a trend developing.
Yes.
And that trend becomes a hot spot, and it notifies the police immediately that that's something that is deserving of their immediate response.
So it's kind of like how NOAA tracks tornadoes or hurricanes,
Absolutely.
where you can see trends that are going on and alert our residents that something's going on, as well as to deploy our public safety officers to get out there as quickly as possible.
Absolutely, not just quickly, accurately,
Yes.
with the complete information set in hand.
And with
So,
the right resources to
right
be able to
resources.
protect them.
Exactly. And the beauty about our application is that we not just connect police, we would connect to all of the responding agencies, police, fire, social
see.
services, and they can all arrive at the same time with a premeditated
right
response and the right response.
Now,
So in the
Marcus-
case of fire, they can literally walk with floor plans in a response, and whatever other incident you're responding to.
Well, Mark, as you know, County Executive Baker and Linda Turner, they launched this whole idea called Transforming Neighborhood Initiative. I'm sure you're very familiar
Very
with it.
familiar with it.
And it has literally reduced crime over the last 7 years by 65%. What has been the contribution from Starlight?
So Starlight essentially, because it handles the crime component in a geographic sense, as you know, the Transforming Neighborhood Initiatives was designed to deliver more effectively the services of certain responding agencies.
Yeah.
Well, because we have the police department as a client, in some cases you have fire, anyone with access to that technology.
Ambulance and anybody else that's needed.
Ambulatory services. But the key part is that because we capture that data, there are some metrics that go with that data.
Yeah.
And those metrics can be evaluated and criteria designed to how much service or how much resources you can assign to an area so that you can decrease or increase either services or decrease the impact of any type of exposure to threat.
So it allows us to be more proactive versus responding.
Absolutely.
I think that's what the chief really means, is that we're preventing crime versus investigating. Investigating is too late.
Exactly.
So what your tool does.
So basically our tool quickly processes the information. It provides trends, and they can have a plan proactively to address specific high density areas, high crime density areas. And there are a number of ways that the police would get in front of it. They can get in front of it by understanding where the disorderlies are taking place, which typically would lead to a crime. So if you address the disorderlies, then you don't have a crime.
Absolutely. You can start picking up trends.
Absolutely.
And make decisions based on data versus just flipping a coin and, a hunch.
Data that facilitates intelligence.
Yes.
They're in intelligence-led policing.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. What are some of the commercial applications and uses for this incredible technology that you're building?
Perfect. Great question. So as the name implies, Starlight Situational Awareness, it supports decision making. It allows you to process data and allows you to make decisions. So you can appreciate, right now, we're leveraging it in the public safety, law enforcement, homeland security space. Yeah. We can likewise deploy it in a health services space. Imagine a pandemic that the CDC is responding to.
Tell us an example. How would that work? Because Bill Gates is interested in this kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
But he said that the biggest concern that he has about the world is not nuclear war, but the outbreak of some kind of virus.
Oh, absolutely.
And different countries, including the United States, not being able to adequately respond fast enough.
Absolutely.
How would your technology help this?
First of all, our technology has a global footprint, right? And it allows, if with access to the right data, it allows you, likewise, in the police department, to see evolving trends, and then associate those trends with behavior. Our solution quickly allows you to receive that information in real time, process it, and understand what the causal factors are. But our technology also allows you to formulate a response to that.
What would you see that would be the hot spot for like some strange flu virus breakout in Prince George's County? What would your technology pick up that would allow County Executive Baker and our health department to better respond?
So a hypothetical would be, we would be tapping into interfaces to, say, a CDC or a hospital. We would look at 911 calls that are made so that saying, look, we've got folks in the neighborhood who are experiencing these types of ailments. Those things will create a high-density area as well and allow the powers that be to notice that there's a trend taking place.
Absolutely.
But we can create a virtual fence around that high-density area and facilitate the appropriate response to it, thereby bringing to bear all of the related first responder agencies.
Well,
that could be doctors, nurses, whoever.
It sounds like you're really tracking a lot of moving parts for anyone out there that's watching this wonderful show and learning about your company. If you've got a lot of moving parts that you need to make sense of, it sounds like that's what your technology does.
Exactly.
Trends and monitoring.
Trends and monitoring.
So, for instance, somebody, let's say Walt Petrie over here at Woodmore, if he wanted to be able to understand the dynamics of shoppers, where they're coming from, how best to deploy resources and support to any restaurant or retail shop, how would you be able to help a retailer to be able to make better decisions?
So essentially, you would look at contributing data such as traffic patterns. You would tie into the patronage data set that as in the cases of National Harbor, where we're deployed as well. You would leverage their data set to see where they're coming from. Use tools like some census documentation. Ultimately, we capture all of that data related to that specific interest.
Right.
And then we will display it and show you what are the trends. We'll also generate metrics in the form of reports. And then, like I said
that
before,
could lead to a feasibility study, couldn't it?
Absolutely. It enables feasibility studies because it processes large amounts of data, but then it quickly gets you to a point where you can make a decision based on what's realized from that data set.
I want you to help the EDC to track something.
Absolutely.
We're trying to get a Cheesecake Factory restaurant here in Prince George's County. You've got cheesecake restaurants all around the county, and we've got our residents, unfortunately, having to go outside the county to the different restaurants. We would love to show that our residents are having to travel, but if we could have a restaurant here locally in our county, they wouldn't have to travel as much, and they would increase their frequency of going to that specific restaurant. How could your technology help us to make the case?
Right. So again, to accomplish that, it would be more process-driven. Our technology would be at the tail end of that process, where we process the data for you and give you a visual display. But we would certainly help you by, first of all, requesting approval to access related data, geofencing using our technology, and then look at the traffic patterns as it relates to that locality. We will also tap into some parallel data sets, look at the different cheesecake, what are the stimuli and the influences that move, address traffic patterns, and see if there are similar identifiers in a particular region, or what is the best region that map to those identifiers, and then give you the intelligence to make a decision as to where to place that Cheesecake Factory.
I love it. We need your help. I want to kind of talk about two other key areas before we wrap up.
Sure.
You are a graduate of our Innovation Station.
Absolutely.
Tell us what you got out of it and what it meant to you and how it helped your company, because right now you're on fire.
So more precisely, we graduated from what was initially called the incubator, and it was a very positive experience. Positive because as a small company with a great idea, you need access to sometimes resources that can't reach.
Yeah.
At the incubator at the time, the EDC, because they were quasi-governmental, they participated in decision-making as it relates to the community, we were quickly able to be in close proximity to folks who can establish that link for us. As a result of graduating from the incubator, we realized the benefit that we received from the incubator. We understand the importance of economic development in Prince George's County. You know, it's kind of a community-driven initiative. Once I heard about the Innovation Station, and I read up on your mission and the goals that you have in mind, part of our desire was we've had a journey that we ought to share, because there are a lot of challenges a small business typically don't get until they bump into them.
Right.
So part of it is this shared space would allow for us to engage other companies, have an opportunity for idea cross-pollination, shared experiences. They can benefit from our successes, and more
We can
importantly,
benefit from theirs and challenges.
absolutely. And the very nature of our technology, at the core of our technology, is the aggregation of disparate data sets and influences. This is a perfect model.
Yeah.
You know, you've got different companies, and we believe that if we need, because our approach is to outsource things that not streamline to our critical core technology.
Yeah.
Such an arrangement would allow us to have an outreach to folks who can respond to those outsourcing needs.
Mark, you are brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Man,
So are you, Jim.
You are, I'm trying my best to keep up with you. It all sounds good. And it sounds like your company has a great future. Where do you want to see your company go? And what is your vision for the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, I'll tell you what a near-term vision for us is. Our initial goal was to connect the dots. Coming out of the 9/11 Commission after 9/11, that sad state of affairs, one of the recommendations was we've got to connect the dots, we've got to connect the agencies, we've got to get everyone on the same page. Our goal for Prince George's County specifically, but for the National Capital Region at large, is to create that quilt, that one platform across which all agencies, first responder agencies, can communicate on a very light footprint. So in the near to medium term, our hope is to, with the help and support of our local agencies, is to bridge that gap. I'll give you a perfect example. In Prince George's County, you have Prince George's County proper, but then you have several different municipalities that don't necessarily ride off of the same CAD space. Our solution allows all of the municipalities.
And even
to read
into
from
the
same
DMV.
page.
Because
Absolutely.
we're right up against neighbors.
Exactly. Neighbors, you mentioned neighbors.
Yeah.
We've broken down geographical constraints and barriers because our technology knows no borders. So right now you have Prince George's County communicating with Metropolitan Police Department, Montgomery
Howard County, Baltimore.
And those are just the verticals. The horizontals would be schools, hospitals, TNI, Transforming Neighborhood Initiatives. We've got a module in our solution that speaks to community intervention.
I want you to add that, Mark. I want you to get on the commercial side, because that's going to be a gold mine for you.
Absolutely.
I just see, and I'd love to help you to do that. I'd love to introduce you to a few of our shopping center owners and maybe have a few to come in and just to hear what you do and for them to ask you questions so that you can build out the specs to their needs. They are starving for this. They want fresh, real-time data on specific consumer shopping patterns. And I know you could help us to do that.
Absolutely. We're here to serve.
Yes.
Specifically our immediate community, but more broadly, the national global need. If we're introduced to folks that would benefit from the types of things that we do, we'd be happy to respond.
I'd love to get your help on it.
Please.
I see you using data and helping decision makers to use data on how to deploy resource more smart. You're Starlight, but you're Smartlight.
There you go.
And you're able to help owners of shopping centers, county executives, mayors,
Yes.
EDC
yes.
presidents to make better decisions using data. That's what this is all about.
Absolutely. It's that single tide that raises all boats. And I think that's what the EDC stands for.
Mark, I'm very proud of you. You've got our support at the EDC. I'm thrilled about your future for your company and for you. And you've got to partner with us.
Thank
because
you
you've got
very
a
much.
very value-added tool and technology application that we need.
Absolutely.
Both on protecting us as well as helping us to capture opportunity for our business owners.
Absolutely. And not to mention, it's tested, widely tested, and proven, as demonstrated in the last 3 U.S. presidential inaugurations.
How can people learn more about your technology? What's your website? And do you
So
have
they can go to www.transglobalbiz.com.
Okay.
And I suspect after this event, your
server's
learn
going to
a lot
crash.
more.
Your server's going to crash. You better get extra space on the server because it's going to crash.
that sounds like
So much interest.
That sounds like a great problem to have, Jim.
Well, I am excited. I think Lori Valentine's given me all the questions that I need to ask today. We are fired up. My team and I are thrilled, and we can't wait for you to get to the next level of growing your company and helping you to create more jobs for our residents. These are high-tech jobs. That's what we love about it.
Oh,
the more you
absolutely.
grow, the more you're going to have to create more jobs for our residents in a very hot space dealing with technology.
Exactly. It's a shared interest, and we aim to please. We aim to serve as well.
Before I wrap it up, is there anything else the EDC could be doing to help you to grow your company and to help you to meet your milestone objectives?
Oh, I absolutely believe that the EDC as a stakeholder partner can certainly help because it already serves by its very nature as a hub of shared communal interests for the community. You already access a variety of different departments and at the right level as well, facilitating conversations such as that, establishing need, like the one you just described with your Cheesecake Factory, or that's would
Restaurants
be
and shopping centers.
Absolutely, that would definitely help.
Yeah.
We have a solution that's already out there, continuously being improved. So it's just a matter of accessing clientele, and
That would be
you already do
fantastic.
that very well.
Well, thank you very much. We are talking here today to Mr. Mark Walcott, President and CEO and founder of TransGlobal Business Systems, one of the fastest growing companies in Prince George's County in the United States. And he's really on to something, on helping leaders, whether if you're in the private sector or public sector, in being able to make better decisions using data. Mark, congratulations on the great success of your company. Look forward to continuing our great partnership, and good luck in the future.
Thank you, Jim. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
You take care.